Good morning, everybody, or good day, I should say. Whatever time it is you're watching or listening to this, we're going through our study on the book of Proverbs. This is chapter 27. There's 31 chapters, so there's one for every day in the month. You can study this through a month's period of time. You can study it over and over again, and it continues to build character, wisdom, direction. It's considered a book of wisdom. And so let's dive into this. In verse 1, it says, "Don't brag about tomorrow since you don't know what the day will bring." In other words, he's saying just understand something that you're going to estimate to your best that you can, but just don't brag about what you don't know, I guess is a point there. But number 2, verse 2 says, "Let someone else praise you, not your own mouth, a stranger, not your own lips." So he's just little common sense. That's what's so valuable in this. He says, hey, don't let pride slip in. Don't talk about yourself. It turns others off. Let others talk about you. Just sit back and let your life demonstrate who you are, and let it speak, not you. I like verse 4. It says, "Anger is cruel and wrath is like a flood, but jealousy is even more dangerous." Well, he says, anger and wrath are they're like a flood, but this jealousy, there is a force of destruction that comes with jealousy. It'll eat people up. It'll motivate you to do things. It's just really something that it gets in people's hearts. You're focused entirely on what you don't have and negatively towards somebody else for what they do have, instead of just praising God and being thankful for what you do have. Man, I tell you what, seeing what somebody else has and desiring it is one thing, but when it begins to rot inside you or cause just a bitterness and anger and a frustration and all the things that come with jealousy, boy, it's a horrible thing. So don't be jealous of others. Be thankful for what you have and let God develop that. So that's some good common sense. Let God develop His blessing of what you have and balance your life out. He goes on. He says, wounds from a sincere friend are better than many kisses from an enemy. I stepped back and I thought about that. What are you saying here, God? And it just means to tell the truth in love. That's a wound maybe from a friend, but it's better than having an enemy tell you what you want to hear, telling you what you like to hear. And they're not helping you out. They're not identifying the problem or bringing any kind of solution. So he balances that out. I love verse 9. He says, "The heartfelt counsel of a friend is as sweet as perfume and incense." In other words, heartfelt counsel is always good. It's a blessing. Somebody who's on your side, has your back, considers you valuable. That's the type of counsel you want. I like this verse 10 because just some common sense. I've tried to instill this in my kids and tried to live this. Never abandon a friend, either yours or your father's. When disaster strikes, you won't have to ask your brother for assistance. It's better to go to a neighbor than to a brother who lives far away. In other words, he's saying those that are close to you, those that are available to you, you can call upon them. It's not saying reject your family. It's just simply saying you can have those that are around you. But I want to back up to the first part of that verse. Never abandon a friend. And I say it like this, and you've probably heard this statement: don't burn bridges. Be careful burning bridges. If you can maintain that, I've always told my kids this, when you're working for an employer, even if you're leaving that job, even if it wasn't something you love doing, leave on good terms as best you can. Leave it in a way, because you never know when that reference might come in handy. You want to be able to say, yeah, I worked such and such and here and did this, and then be able to call that reference, and they say, yeah, they showed up for work, or whatever positive things could come from that. But notice, or I wrote also, you never know when those things can help you. An old friend, there's times when you maintain a relationship through social media or Facebook. It's a little easier to do. sometimes to maintain those friendships with people who are far away. But I try to leave things on good terms, still consider them friends, and you never know when you need a favor, or you need just some insight, or maybe you need to be able to call on them, and so you maintain that friendship. It can be valuable to you. Verse 12 is another one that stands out to me. A prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions. Prudence being planning ahead, thinking out ahead. They foresee danger, and they take necessary precautions. So you adjust for that. That's just the better part of wisdom. Now I jump down onto verse 17. It says, as iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend. That's a phrase we use a lot of times in men's ministry, but it works for all relationships that are good and healthy. Iron sharpens iron. We can make each other better. I have certain pastor friends I talk to. I have cowboy friends that are ranchers, or that are in horse training, or whatever it is that if I'm talking about turkey hunting, finding somebody who's good at what I want to do or be better at, we sharpen one another. Well, where our relationship with God is concerned, that's why it's so important that we develop friendships that have the same goals, the same morals and ethics, the same basis for our life, that we allow them to sharpen us and we help sharpen them. It's an awesome thing. Let's jump all the way ahead to verse 21. Fire tests the purity of silver and gold, but a person is tested by being praised. Man, I love this one. I didn't read this out of another translation. I don't know how it reads. I got it here. I'm gonna read it out of the New King James. It says, let's see, I'm in the wrong chapter. That's why that didn't fit. Verse 27. Sorry for the delay. The refining pot of silver and of the furnace for gold, and a man is valued by what others say about him. A man is valued. He's tested. He's made better, like the purity, by praise. But I took that to mean this: that does it change you when you're praised, or does it cause pride? The refining shows me that it produces in me something that's better. But it can also reveal what's in our heart that we can slip over into pride. I've got a saying I love. I don't even remember where I got this. I got it early in ministry. I got it probably in the early 90s. I began to make this a part of my life, and I began to say this. But compliments are like perfume, meant to be sniffed, not drank. I'd give credit to whoever that, if I can ever find out who said that. Maybe I ought to Google that. But that became a mantra of mine. I try to always remember that. Compliments are great, but they're meant to be sniffed, like perfume. You don't want to be drinking perfume, right? But take them in, but don't take them in too much and let them affect you negatively. Let's close with this one verse. Verse 23, know the state of your flocks and put your heart into caring for your herds. In other words, take care of your business. So many good truths right here. I know there's other verses in between. There's some that I didn't want to deal with or didn't read, talking about family and that sort of thing. Man, take those and allow those to shape your life. Plus, there's just too many verses to hit in one little teaching. But I just challenge you. There's so many practical things on a daily basis. That's why I say go through the book of Proverbs over and over again. Do this study multiple times, and you'll hit these different verses at different times, and they're so powerful and make such a difference to help shape your life. Guide and direct your growth, your development, your character, business affairs, relationships, and your walk with God according to the Scripture. It's a powerful, powerful thing. So hopefully you can take some of these verses, apply them into your life, and see your life continue to become more like Christ. Well, be blessed today. As you go out through your day, do something good for somebody, and